So hopefully you can hear me. Just waiting for the circuit to load. The server's just gone live for the NLS round 4 qualifying. Here we go, and we are now in the server. So I'm just going to check that the stream's working before I leave the pits. Check that you can hear me. Yeah, seems to be working. Cool. Let's go out and do our first lap. So I'm just going to load a qualifying setup here. Go with this one. So this is pre-qualifying for the N24. So this is, sorry, not for the N24, for VLN DNLS round 4. So it's a race that's in a week's time, but this is qualifying to get into the race. So let me just move. I've had some overlays that are set up for the Formula Renault. So let me just fix that very briefly. I'm going to move this mirror down a bit so I can actually see it. There we go. Everything else is just about right. Yeah, mirrors are all set okay. Just going to make sure that this overlay is working on the stream. So we want the standings bar to appear. Just going to make sure you guys can see the standings as they happen. This here, nearly done. Okay, they probably won't appear yet because no one's done any laps, but let's see. Once we do some laps, they should appear. Right. So we can do a full out lap. Full out lap, followed by a flying lap. What a beautiful day at the north side. Dale Lomas is there. So this should be quite nice because I've been doing quite a lot of nighttime practice for the Nurburgring 24 hours. And it's nice to see where I'm going. So the idea is that we do a long, very slow out lap to try and preserve the tyres. Looks like there's a lot of rubbering in. You can see the racing line's already quite rubbered. Not sure what the track temperature is today. And my VR just moved. I just need to reset my VR. Look. There we go. I just realised why. I moved a sensor earlier, so I don't have the sensor pointing at me very well. We'll just get a banker lap in, and then I'll adjust some things, and we'll go again. So this is just a slow out lap, just keeping the tyres in good shape. Obviously this is a front wheel drive car, so front tyres take a real hammering. The rears really don't, and the rears will probably still be pretty cold by the time we start our flying lap. So let's just see if anyone else is out at the moment. So I'm the only one in this area of the track at the moment. So obviously also the idea is to not get any off tracks. If we run off the track at any point, the lap's invalidated. So we have to not use the curbs too much, not ever touch the grass. Not quite sure how much fuel we've got, whether we've got enough fuel for one flying lap or two. Let's have a little look. Oh, and we want to change. Oh, something just. The VR headset just moved again. That's annoying. Fixed. I need to. If that keeps happening, I'm going to have to just move the sensor and then do another run. So just being super smooth, not stressing the tyres at all. I'm going to try and keep still because if I move my head too far then the VR sensor is going to lose it. So tyres are still very cold at the moment. Should we see what time of day it is at the North Side? Okay, so it's 8:04 AM at the Nurburgring, apparently. So that's why we've got some long shadows on the track, keeping some of the track cool, which is good. Cool track is faster. And iRacing is very, very temperature sensitive. You can also have a little quick look at what force feedback settings we've got at the moment. Feels a little bit weak, so yeah, it's down at 12, so let's fix that. We want that to be a bit higher. It's a bit more like it. Yes, I think we've only got enough fuel for one flying lap at a time. So if I cock up the flying lap, that means a whole extra out lap. And obviously no one's set a lap time just yet. So if I go down too far, the sensor loses me. Okay, noted. There's the sun just peeping over the trees at Kesselchen. Just reset the sensor whilst running straight. It's more like it. Just coming up to Muck Curve. This is one of the dangerous ones. You have a big crash through here. Nearly have a big crash on my out lap. There we go. So we got an off track for that. Doesn't matter on the out lap, but if that happened on the flying lap, then that would be invalidated. So it's nice to do this lap at the beginning of the session. Conditions are good, and also there's not many other cars, because it means my frame rate, you can see next to the word relative there, you've got a little 90 or 89 frames per second. That's the maximum this headset can provide. And once there's loads of cars out, sometimes that dips down quite a lot further. Okay, so I'm going to start pushing a little bit harder from around about now, just to make sure the rear tyres have some temperature by the start of the lap. Use the curves here through whipping them. It's very, very different from the Formula Renault I was driving all day yesterday. But from now on until Sunday, it's all about laps of the North Cypher in this car, because after the qualifying today, tomorrow we've got the official Nurburgring 24 hours on our racing, so that will be my first ever iRacing 24-hour race with the darkness and everything, which will be quite cool. The lighting looks amazing here. I've got at least one night stint. Okay, so winding up now to the fast lap. Into Schwalbe-Schwanz, Swallow's Tail, a little bit deep. And then the Kleiner Carousel. Lots of rubber down, look how black the racing line is. Some people in the campsite already, I can see. Okay, here we go. Just warm the rears up a little bit. without really stressing the fronts because I'm just lifting to get the weight transfer. So not sure if there's a headwind. Normally top speed down this straight as we go down into Antonio's Booker around this corner. Normally we get up to like 243k, like 230 at the moment. Maybe a headwind. We're getting pretty close though, 240k. Right, here we go then. First lap of qualifying. So we got a clear track. I won't talk as much on this lap because I need to concentrate. Missed the apex a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much there. So you'll start seeing from that relative timing bar whether I'm quicker than I was on the out lap. You'd hope I am. So I was taking it easy. So this next chicane, very easy to get an off track by mistake. So we'll just be nice and safe this time. We'll push a bit harder on subsequent laps. Okay, first section there through the Grand Prix circuit and hats and back, no dramas, so good so far. Nice clear track as well. Early turn in here at flick flats, back to full throttle, all good. Okay, next you can see we've got yellow flashing lights on the dash there showing we're low on fuel, but that's good. It means we've got the right amount of fuel in to get to the end of this lap. Schwedenkreuz. Always a danger zone. A little wide. Try and stay tight to the inside through here. It's okay for a first lap. Flat out now, down through the foxhole. Fuchsrohr. The VR gives you a real good idea of the decline down into the valley here. Would have ideally used a bit more curve there. Get it slowed early through Adenauer Forst. Wasn't brilliant, but this is just really a banker lap, start of the session. So we'll carry a bit more speed through Metzgersfeld there next time. Down into Kallenhard. Into miss, hit, miss. Here we go. careful into rear siphon, tight to the inside. In the very slowest parts of the track. We're coming down into the town of the Brightside Bridge. Trying to run too deep to the outside concrete. A little slow actually that time. Early braking, early on the gas of the X-Muller. And now we're going to head towards Bergwerk, crucial right-hander, down 2 gears, focusing on the exit, and early on the power. And I was actually better through there on the warm-up lap, as you can see from the Sector 7 split there on the left. So I was a little bit too careful on this lap. So still no one else set a lap time yet. We might have pole position for a little while until other cars arrive. Here we go then, Muck curve. Oh, I turned it a little early and then had to back out of it. So not particularly quick through there, but we've got more laps later. So through Styles Tracker up towards Caracciola Carousel. Actually harder in the sim than it is in real life, the carousel. Easier to fall out of it on the sim. Come up to Hoa Act. Look at them. Easy to run wide there. So our predicted time at the moment is a 52.8. Now ideally we want to be under 8 minutes 50. So we're going to need to find some time. Little wide at Schwalben's France. So not an amazing first lap, but we just need a banker really. So we're gaining some time now down the Dottinger Hoe because obviously I was warming up the rear tyres on the outlap here. So this is a little gain, but we're still going to find quite a bit more time to get under 8 minutes 50, which is our aim. I want to get 8 minute 49 maybe in qualifying. Okay, so we open the account with 8 minute 51 by the looks of it. 51.1. Okay, so that's the banker. We've got to find a couple of seconds. fuel do we have left out of interest? 2.7 litres. Okay, so we can't really remove any fuel because we're already pretty much at the limit. So let's just go back to pits. I'm going to reset the sensors. Just going to have a little quick look at the stream, see if anyone's watching. 13 people watching? Oh my god, guys. That's like the most ever. Hey everyone. Let's go for the second lap. Right. I want to see a 39, Brad. Okay. Right, so we'll go up to the second run. Let's do it. There's another car in the session with us now. Who's that? Dale, my old teammate from the 24 hours. 2 years for the 24 hours race with Dale. Quite a while ago now. I can't even remember the year. 2016, I think? 2015, 2016 in a BMW and a Fiesta. Right, so we're on another outlap. Sorry I can't respond to messages whilst I'm driving because in the VR here I've got no way of seeing any messages pop up. Let's try and get into the 49s. Right, I need to reset this headset. It's more like it. So again, can't push too hard on the outlap, otherwise the front tyres will just overheat. So feel free to go get a cup of tea for the next 8 minutes as I do a long outlap. I think that 13 watching is the most I've had in ages on my channel. I'm doing my best to build and be a bit more professional with the thumbnails and the scheduling and the production, the overlays and that kind of thing. So you'll probably notice there is a lap time position on the left. So kind of the top left of the screen with a greyish white background. There'll only be my lap time at the moment, so I'm the only one that's set a lap so far. There'll be plenty more people in the session as the hour goes on. And Dale has just left the pits, I can see behind me. Yeah, but things like that, the little overlays, just so you know what position everyone's in, just to make things a bit easier. So please do like and subscribe, that would be awesome. We're at around 2,100 subscribers at the moment, which is, I know, very small, but it's a start. So obviously, once again, just to fill you in on what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to be very, very smooth with the steering and really not cross the braking and the throttle and the steering, and really keep everything individual, not stress the front tyres, go much, much slower through some of the fast corners like this one, Schwedenkreuz, than I would on a flying lap. We're just really trying to make sure that the front tyres are in absolute perfect condition, ready for the flying lap. Now, although I think the conditions are set to static in this session to allow, because this is actually a 12-hour session, so this allows people to come in at any time from now until midnight, effectively, or 11 o'clock UK time, to come and set a time. Who is anyone who's registered for this championship, the NLS Digital Nurburgring Langstrecke Series. But although the conditions are static, the things which aren't static are obviously your tyre wear and your tyre temperature and the marbles. So as more and more people drive around, there will be more and more marbles offline, which is why I'm here early on trying to take advantage of a nice clean racing line, and obviously by driving on the racing line I'm also cleaning it even more. As well, it's also important on the outlap to drive on the line that you're going to be driving on the flying lap, so that you are actually cleaning the racing line. So just taking taking a look at the gap behind me to Dale. So it's staying pretty similar. He's probably doing a very similar thing to me, just being nice and smooth, not stressing the tyres at all. So everyone watching, we're going to have a very exciting stream for the Nurburgring 24 hours tomorrow. So please join me for that. That'll be much more exciting than a qualifying session like this. There'll be 60 cars on the grid together, maybe more actually. I don't know what the maximum is for iRacing. Yeah, loads and loads of cars, and obviously it will go through full day and night cycle. We'll have the headlights on at night. You see all the sparks. It looks super cool, and obviously full damage. And there's lots at stake. We're going to be in one of the highest splits. I'm going to be with Full Send Racing. So today I'm competing for Ultimate Racing Mayan, Nett Motorsport in real life, in this orange Audi. Tomorrow it will be a black and green Audi, same car, but driving with my teammates in Full Send Racing, who are a professional sim team, and we'll be going for the class win in the Nurburgring 24 hours. So qualifying's tomorrow morning. I'm going to stream the whole thing. So we're going to have to do it in 3 parts because there's a 12-hour limit to iRacing streaming, and obviously we need to encompass the qualifying stuff as well at the beginning. So I'll do parts 1, 2 and 3. But starting I think 8 AM tomorrow. It's going to be quite an early one. And then the race will be from around about 1 PM UK time. So that'll be exciting. Just to show you what I can see in the car here with VR, I can look around the cockpit. Everything's exactly the same as it would be in a real Audi RS3 LMS TCR car. So if you have a look at kind of the way the roll cage is set inside that plastic trim. We've got the manual gear lever here, which I don't use. We've got paddles. If I look down to my right when I'm on a straight section, you'll see the button box, brake bias, all that kind of thing. That's all down there, even the DSG gear lever. So Dale's caught me a bit. He's pushing a little bit harder on his out lap than I am. So once we get through Whipperman, that kind of area, we'll start pushing again just to get some temperature in the rears. You can see the car's quite floaty on the rear. That's not really a setup issue. That's kind of just how TCR cars are. Very, very light at the rear. Especially when we've got the cold tyres, it floats a bit. Okay, so we're coming through Whipperman now. I'm going to start just pushing a little bit harder as we go into S-Back and Brunchen. So, starting to think about the areas where we lost some time on the first flying lap. Grand Prix circuit really started from the first corner. Missed the apex a little at turn 1. Turn 3, the second hairpin, the tight left-hand hairpin, I was slightly wide of the curb. Onto the Nordschleife. We were a bit careful through the chicane, just at the end of the GP track, because we wanted to get a banker lap in. Where else? When we got to Arenberg after Swedenkreuz, we weren't quite tight as I'd like. It meant I had to delay the throttle application, so there we go, there's another area. And there'll be just lots of little places. Over the full Nordschleife, I'll probably gain a couple of places, lose in a couple of places. I wasn't great at Bergwerk, so we didn't get a good exit up the long hill up through Kesselscheren and Muckkurve. So there we go, there's some areas that we can improve on. And anytime you see the bar at the top of the screen here start going green, it means I'm improving on my optimal lap. So obviously at the moment the optimal lap is the only lap I've done, but as the session goes on, I'll do better sectors on different laps. So you'll have like my predicted best time, and we can kind of work out as we go what we're roughly looking to get on any given lap. Obviously if my optimal is 8 minutes 50 and I'm 1 second behind that, it's going to be an 8 minute 51. Just warming up the rears. Castle looking nice above the trees over there. Okay, as you can see on the relative, there's no one in front. Dale's 2 minutes behind, so there we go. Let's try and get a better exit onto the GP track. So careful here, and let's go. Alright, mission 1. Try not to miss the apex too much at the first corner. It's not a disaster if we do though. And we missed it by much more than the first time. It's okay, it's only a 10th. Now 2 tenths. So you're going to see that lap time bar ebb and flow through this lap. Too quick there. So far we've just lost time, so not a good start. 4 tenths off now. So I guess that means we've got nothing to lose through this chicane. Wow, hemorrhaging time. Maybe that first lap the conditions were best. Nowhere near, almost 7 tenths down. Nightmare so far. And a lot of it's down to exactly how you prepared the tyres on the previous lap. Maybe I didn't push hard enough. Maybe I pushed too hard. Certainly doesn't feel brilliant in terms of front end grip. And iRacing is one of those things where you think you push a bit harder and you just lose time. In fact, look, there we go, another 10th. And in my mind, I didn't do anything different to the previous lap, but we've lost another 10th. We're getting on for a second off, which is not the direction we want to be. But each lap is an opportunity to learn. On in this lap, I'm sure there will still be places where we'll gain, and we'll work out where they are. Good chance just to check the throttle calibration is still correct. You know, if you're losing loads of time and you can't work out why, but I'm still getting 100% throttle. The wind direction can change, that's something which sometimes happens. And that's gone wrong as well. Just a poor lap at the moment. So far, in 4 sectors, we've not been quicker in any of them. Significantly worse in all of them. Well, there's a 10th. And there goes the 10th again. Okay, so we got a fractionally better exit there to add now force, but that is nothing in the grand scheme of things. And too much curve on the inside there. Let's get fell, and we've lost it all. I think we're going to try a small setup change for the next run. I think we might be a bit too conservative on the brake bias. So for the race we're going to be running with brake valve 1 at the rear. In fact, it's something we can change on the fly. Let's give it a try. So I've just changed to brake valve 2, which gives us a bit more rear brake bias. Don't expect it will be a magic bullet. there we go. I knew we didn't get a great exit there last time, and already we've made up a 10th through Nurburgring. I highly doubt we're going to make up 1.2 seconds over the rest of the lap, but we will try. There is a lot of understeer today, so I'm going to have a little look into the setup once we get back to the pits. Because really only 2 sectors we gained any time at all, and all the rest were losses. And we're still losing now. I don't think that brake valve change helped in the slightest. So over 3 tenths in this sector, so there's one area that's good for the optimal. We're below 1 minute, 8 minutes 51 now on optimal time. So that's one positive, but it's nowhere near improving overall. We lost a good chunk of that just on the Grand Prix circuit. Did you pull away from Dale? Yeah, we pulled away from Dale, so that's good. So 1.1 seconds off on that second lap. Let's just get back to the pits. And we'll go again. No one coming out of the pits. No. Obviously we would never park here in real life. We'd lose our licence. Let's just have a little look at the camber. So front tyres were down to 91% on the inside by the end of that lap. Okay. And the pressures were 120. No, sorry, 213. Okay. Not too bad. Let's reduce the starting pressure. Oh, we can't. We're already at the minimum. Okay, well that solves that. Let's change the camber. Where's our camber? So judging by this, we've got quite a lot hotter inside temps than outside, and quite a bit more wear. So let's just reduce the camber. Maybe it's a warm day. So let's go. Oh, we're already at minimum camber. Okay, so we can't do that either. Okay. There might not be a lot we can do in that case. Can we decrease the front ride height at all? No. Okay, so it looks like we're already basically at the limit of what we can do to help the front. A little bit less towing. No, okay. If I do anything less, it goes to... sorry, a little less tow out. It goes to tow in if I do anything else. There goes Dale. We're not using the handbrake. Okay, let's keep it as it is and just drive better. Let's do one more run, and then we'll go for a coffee break and come back. Just check the stream, see if anyone's there. Still got 13 people. Steen, I need to have an easier outlet. That's a good good bit of advice. Let's give that a try. And yeah, I don't know what happened to 46 seconds. Steen, the track isn't the same, I think is the answer. It feels a little bit more slippery today, in fact a lot more. Okay, so Steen reckons, Steen is team boss for the 24-hour team tomorrow. Steen reckons an even easier outlap. So let's try. Did Dale set a lap? No, not yet. Right, so we'll just have a proper granny of an outlap. And we won't do any tyre warming down the Dottinger Hill. So if anyone knows what he's talking about, it's Steen. He won the DNLS round before the previous one. He's a bit quicker than me around here as well, so I am inclined to trust his advice. So I have a real slow outlap. Really try and not stress the tyres at all. I thought I was already doing it. I think we're already having like 10-minute outlaps, but we'll do it even more. And of course, one of the tricky things around here is that you have to wait so long for another chance. If you mess a corner up, it's nearly 10 minutes before you're going to get a chance to do that corner again. And when it's a run like this, where you've only got fuel for one flying lap, it's actually 20 minutes in between, nearly 20 minutes between doing a corner and then doing it again in anger. And it's why experience counts for so much around here. So we'll go super gently through Hatton back. Good news is, we're on pole at the moment. We are the only car that's set a lap. Actually, I didn't take a look at the track temperature. I don't know what the temperature is at the moment. Feels hot, but that's because I'm in a hot room. Could do with a fan. Just nuzzle the mouse so it doesn't keep moving. Every time I go over a bump, the mouse moves. Yeah, so of course the preparation of the tyres is key, and then also you've got to not screw up when you do the driving on the flying lap. But at the moment, my dream of a sub 8-minute 50 qualifying lap is not coming to fruition. And if this was real VLN or NLS, as it is now, my 2 flying laps I've already done are pretty much all you're going to get in qualifying, in real qualifying. We wouldn't have pre-qualifying like this. So thanks to anyone who is actually taking some time out of their day to watch me drive on a simulator. It's very, you must be very bored, but like I say, tomorrow in the N24 it'll be a lot more exciting. So just to pass the time as we drive around here, this version of the Nordschleifer on iRacing is extremely detailed, extremely realistic. Every single little bump I'm feeling through the steering wheel, although I'd definitely rather have a more expensive steering wheel and feel things even more, but it's really, really good. It's extremely detailed. You couldn't have imagined not too many years ago how well these things would be modelled. And although I whinge about the car, like this TCR car, I don't particularly enjoy driving this car on iRacing. It's not that the car is modelled unrealistically or anything, it's probably modelled very, very realistically, but I'm lacking some of the feel that you'd have in real life, lacking G-force. I drove my fiance's car to the shops the other day, doing like 30 miles an hour, felt G-force for the first time in weeks, and so it just highlighted to me how much you miss out on from not being chucked around, not being pressed up against the edge of your seat, especially at this track. But in a way it's nice because if we have an accident we're also very safe and it didn't cost anything. Very pretty with the sun coming over those trees. So anyone who might be just joining us, we are just cruising gently on an out lap. Just trying to preserve the tyres ready for a flying lap. Obviously, as you can see, we're nearly 18 seconds off the optimal time at the moment because we're going so gently. And that's going to be more like a minute by the time we get to the end of the lap. One problem with VR is if you get an itchy nose, you can't scratch it because it's covered by the VR headset, or an itchy eye for that matter. So just like in real life, there's no live tyre wear monitor in iRacing. In reality, you'd have no chart or graph showing you how much your tyres are worn during a stint. You'd have to work that out. Obviously, after a stint, tyre engineers can have a look, and that's the same in iRacing. When I get back to the pits, you can have a look and see how much tyre percentage you used in the previous run, but you can't see it live. So right now, if I was to click onto the tyre screen just to show you, this info is from my last run. So from the last 2 laps, the flying lap and the out lap, the lowest percentage we're down to is 91% on the inside of the front left. But right now we've got no idea, but we're trying to make it less than that. As in less wear than that. And we've got another driver on track, Celia Martin, not sure what team they're from, car number 401. Obviously the other thing we've got to hope is that after this long slow out lap we don't then suddenly meet traffic. Right, I'm going to start pushing a little hard now so we have some rear temperature. Still try and limit the front wheel spin and stress on the front, but we just want to lean on the rears a little bit more. Do some of these faster corners, otherwise I'll have no temperature whatsoever. There we go, you see the rear movement. All seems very smooth and easy at this speed. And here, Galgenkopf, this is a corner where you can really stress the front, so I'm going to be very gentle. Right, from here, let's go fast in a straight line. I won't try any rear warming this time. We'll just go flat out all the way down the Dottinger. Checking the mirrors. It's cool the way your view in the mirror changes as you move your head, like it would in reality. Right, so this will be the last flying lap attempt before I go and grab a coffee, and we'll have a short coffee break, regroup, come back refreshed. Might adjust the force feedback on the next run. Right, let's try and hit the apex at the first corner. Oh no, Dale's just left the pits! Ah, terrible timing, Dale. Okay, this is exactly what I was just talking about. A car has left the pits immediately in front of us. And again, nowhere near that apex. So there's some time to find just in the first corner. See if we reap the benefits of our cooler tyres now on the rest of this lap. Dale's going to be right in the way. That is bad timing, Dale. So I think Steam was right about that outlet. Oh, Dale, you legend. Thank you very much. Dale getting right off the track to let us through. Obviously realised, saw us coming. Good man. So far, the cooler tyres seem to be helping. It's a bit rubbish through there. And still, all we need to do is keep this green, keep the number at the top green. Lost 2/10 for that one sector. I don't really know what else I could have done. I braked as late as I could, didn't really run wide, still lost 2/10. Back in the green. so far, definitely a much better lap than the previous fly. And we gained time at Bergwerk, thank goodness. Well, we actually lost time, but we didn't get a poor exit, what I should say. So it means we're not going to lose tons of time all the way up this long hill. Still, around half the lap to go, so plenty of time for this to go wrong, but it's a good start. And I really think Steen's advice there of a slower outlap was good. I thought we were already going slow. Ooh, too deep there in the beginning of her act. And too deep there at her act, so we've lost a bit of time. Oh, too wide through Kleiner Carousel. So easy just to lose that inside groove. And a reasonable exit onto the Ottingen. So, I mean, all in all, you can see we're kind of gaining time, losing time, gaining time, losing time. A couple of crucial places where we lost there. So whether or not we improve is going to be down to the final corner, final chicane. Certainly a lot better than the previous flyer, and our predicted time is now over a second quicker than our actual time. So we're down to a 49.9 optimal. So definitely some much better split. So thank goodness it wasn't just a lap of getting worse like the previous one. So it looks like a slow outlap is the name of the game. Let's try not to screw the last corner. Good last corner, so we're going to beat our best. Should be in the 8-minute 50s now. 8-minute 50.8 maybe? 0.4, okay, oh, we're only 4/10 off getting in the 49s. So that's good. Okay, so guys, thanks for watching so far. Let's just get out of everyone's way. Get off the track here, and we will go brew a coffee. I'll put a holding screen up, and I'll be back. I'll be back shortly. Thank you for watching so far. Let's see if we can get in the 49s. Okay. Let's get this show back on. So, hello everyone, welcome back. Just rest this on here so we can take a look at some things. I've got a little snack. I've got my Nurburgring coffee mug. I've got a croissant, half a croissant and a cookie. So this is the fuel. I'm going to eat this croissant. I'm going to have a little look at what some of the other drivers are doing before we go back out. Sorry, it must be really quiet because I'm away from the headset. So what are the results looking like at the moment? So we're still fast. There's now all Sawgrain Sport here. So we've got a good couple of teams in here now. Oh, it's the girls. That's who. That's that driver was. Okay, that's fine. Should we ride on board or something? Right on board the day. It's just like real life done. Scalding hot coffee. Back into the matrix. Let's go. Okay, no one's behind us, that's good. All the cars are out in front. Let's see what Yannick Danish can do. He seems to me to be probably one of the quicker guys. think I probably expect him. He's from Sorg Rennsport. I expect them to be slightly higher than the Team BTGE and the girls' team. No disrespect to the girls, they do a cracking job. But I think they were the slowest team at the last race, so I don't think they're going to be a threat unless they have recruited a super fast driver. So we're just going to do our really slow out lap again. Thanks for anyone who is bothering to watch. I really appreciate it. Like I say, make sure you like and subscribe. Help me boost my subscriber numbers. Look how little rear grip there is on cold tyres. Just like in real life. So this is a private qualifying session just for the SP3T class. That's this class, TCR basically. There is no GT3 or anyone. They've got their own session, so that means we're not getting in each other's way. I'm going to do just an absolute crawl of an outlap. So talking to Steen, we think just the track temperature is high because it's 100% rubbered in, and that actually that negatively affects the the way the car feels and how much grip you've got. So we're going to do the most gentle outlap you've ever seen. Now this would be dangerously slow in real life because you just pick up so many marbles on your tyres. That's one thing which isn't really modelled in the car in this sim. Although marbles are modelled, like as in there will be marbles offline which will then cause you to lose grip if you drive on them. What isn't modelled is the way the tyre would in reality pick up the marbles when you're driving around gently, and obviously like not only raise the ride height of the car but also just mean you're driving on loads of little bumps instead of a nice smooth surface which would give you a bigger contact patch. So that isn't modelled. I don't think if you drive on the marbles, I'm not sure how much time after that you have less grip, whether it's just whilst you're on top of them. Oh, we've got Philip Eckert. Okay, he's quick. The car 466. So got some quick guys out now. So I expect we'll tumble down the times. I think we qualified 7th last time. Be good to. I love if we could get in the top 5 in this. It's a very, very tough event. I wish the VR headset could like take some pressure off your head, because I'm sure there's a negative effect from having your head squashed in this headset. It restricts blood flow to your brain, I'm sure. So one potential setup change we can make is if I'm having to do such slow outlaps, I bet we're left with quite a few litres of fuel at the end. So what we'll do, I'm just going to have a little off. No harm done. I'm going to just check once we finish our flying lap how much fuel's remaining, because we'll then remove that for the next flying lap. It might be 100th or 200th of a second gain over a lap, but it's better than nothing. I can see from the relative chart here, Philip Eckert's also doing a very slow outlap because he's not catching us, and I'm doing like 60 miles an hour max. We're still fast at the moment. Only 2 cars set at a time so far though, so can't read too much into that. Someone's had a lock up there through this off, and I can see the tyre marks. Look how beautiful this looks. You can see off into the distance. We can see Ex-Muller through the trees there. It's cool. The elevation change looks really cool in this VR. Jimmy's old shop over there. over the past few years, I've built up quite a few memories of things that have happened to me at various points on this track, whether it's in a road car or certainly predominantly in a race car. So it's funny driving through different sections. I just went over a Brideside Bridge there and I was thinking, oh, this is where I narrowly avoided having a big crash where we had a coolant leak that put coolant on the rear tyres, and we had to pull off there, and the guys from Nett Motorsport came and repaired it in the car park, and then we carried on. I was giving a ride to a guest. And it's like up here, this is the section where I've seen such enormous crashes over the years. I've had to pick my way through debris. So just checking the tyre temperature from the last run. 119, yeah, so there we go, Steen. I don't know if you're still watching. But yeah, the tyre temps are still pretty high in front. Had less wear though, 2% less wear on the previous run, so I think this slow outlap makes a difference for sure. We've still got plenty of space in front of us, plenty of space behind, no other cars around, so just going to carry on cruising on this outlap. So BTG looked like they've completed another lap. He didn't improve. Didn't improve. So I'm not sure whether Yannick or Celia are on flying laps. Celia's certainly been in the session long enough to have started a flying lap. Philip Eckert, I think, was only just entered. So I doubt he will be he'll be in a position for a flying lap just yet. So this has definitely been a considerably gentler outlap than the previous outlap. And we'll see pretty early on whether we start reaping the benefits of that. I will do my utmost to not miss the apex at the first corner, but the danger there is by just going in slower, you lose time anyway by going slower, so I'll try and be a bit more accurate. This is a bit of experimentation. And actually Philip behind, who's, like I say, a real quick driver, he's not caught me that much on this outlap, so that suggests to me he's also doing a really, really slow outlap. Okay, so Celia has disconnected, but she hasn't set a lap, so that's interesting. Maybe she's having some issues. Maybe she went off during the lap and it didn't count. I'm also going to just turn down my force feedback slightly. Just to make sure we don't get any clipping, which is where the force feedback can't translate what's happening on the road through your wheel. Okay, I think it's probably time to start speeding up now. The tyres are probably pretty cold. Now if this works, if this really, really cold outlap works, what you might find is that the first few corners are actually worse because it's still too cold, but then we'll reap the benefits as we get out onto the north side. We've been on the north side for a minute or so, so it's the balance of that. Let's see. Really want some more of this coffee. If I try and drink it now, I'll spill it as I don't put it back on the shelf properly. Right, I might go quiet for a bit as I concentrate. The rear is very floaty. Want that force feedback back. Oh my god, I was so careful on the brakes and still went wide of the apex. I braked like 20 metres earlier. Okay, so it hasn't helped us so far. I cannot get that first corner. The rears are extremely cold still. Might be a good thing, as I say, later on in the lap. Let's just stick with it. A half a second down on the GP track so far. Seven tenths down already. Eight tenths down nearly. Will it start coming back to us in about 2 minutes' time? Or sooner? Just have to stick with it and drive to the grip that it's going to give us. Not brilliant through flick laps, but we're kind of back to a roughly neutral point in terms of how much grip we've got compared to last time. Wide again through there. Doesn't feel terrible, and then you just look at the lap time and you've lost 2 tenths immediately. 3 tenths. So far this little experiment has not worked out. We're a second down, so it's going to have to come on pretty strong in the second half of the lap for us to make this back. We're getting some in that sector. Is that the beginning? Or is that a false dawn? Oh, we've lost the time now. That was too quick into there, and that's going to be the barriers. Oh, maybe not the barriers. It's certainly not quick. Yeah, the car is feeling pretty horrendous, I have to say. So I think we might have to abort this one. I think this is an experiment failed. And we'll try one more with a medium speed outlap. Certainly not suddenly better. I'll take it all the way up to Whipperman and S-Back just to see if there's any improvement there, but I think we have the answer on this one. Small gain there through Nurburgring. That's mainly due to me doing it badly on the previous runs. Oh, okay. Could not get it down the gears that time. No gain through carousel. I think we know what this score is. Let's just go through Hoat, see if I can improve there, because we did actually lose a lot of time through Hoat on the last lap. Yeah, so you can see there's definitely some time to be gained there, because even though that wasn't very clean, still made up a few hundreds. Off track, so there we go. So that lap is not that we were going to improve anyway, but let's just get out of everyone's way and we'll go back to the pits. Okay, let's have a little bit of coffee. Check if anyone's said anything to us. Oh, we've gone down to P2, so Silver Motorsport are down 8:49. Alright, let's do one more run. Let's try one more. Is there anything we could change on the setup? I don't think there is. See what the tyre temps were like on that run. 115. Maybe that was too low. We're doing like a medium speed out lap this time for our final flying lap run. Still obviously trying not to stress the tyres, but just not being quite as ginger as we were last time. So just nice slow out lap. So okay, areas to improve. Definitely the first corner. Arenberg corner we've just been through. Let's try this on the number 2 brake valve. So we can get a bit more rotation. So 6 cars now in the session, so we're going to start seeing some more representative times from people. Like I said earlier, this session's open 12 till 12 German time, so 11 till 11. We'll know the final positions at 11 o'clock tonight. Merlin Mark Wolf. Wow, that's a name, isn't it? It's a mystical name. Good Dungeons and Dragons name, yeah. So at the very least, I mean, Dale's no slouch. So Dale Lomas is one of the ring taxi drivers. And you know, he's a race driver that has done 1 million laps, maybe more than that, around here. So he's good. So we've got a nice over 4-second buffer to Dale. So I think that puts us in a reasonable position. We're not going to be on the pro esports teams level. We're generally going to be a couple of seconds off that until someone buys me a direct drive wheel. That's my excuse at the moment. But yeah, to be, you know, within touching distance would be good. And I'll definitely have had enough practice of this track in iRacing by next weekend, after the 24 hours this weekend. So Philip Eckert's gone, he's aborted, so either he went off track or he wasn't happy with his lap or whatever, but he hasn't actually posted a time. Oh, he's back. Philip's back. Still just carefully cruising around the miss out now. Okay guys, here we go. So, one more flying lap. I've got something in my eye. We're leaving our VR. Oh well, too late to fix that. So one thing we changed is the brake valve. Dale's in the pits, hopefully he won't come out, although he was very good at letting us through last time. Keep it on that screen. Here we go. Something a bit more resembling an apex. So careful in that corner and still lost 2 tenths. scrappy. Sorry I was a bit quiet over that, guys. I think I was holding my breath. So it shows we're 2/10 off, but that's 2/10 off of our optimal at the start of this lap, and that was a 49.8. So this would put us on a 50.0 if I don't screw up the final corner, which would still be an improvement. So fingers crossed. It's always tricky because you've got to brake so late. Let's give it a try. Yeah, I think we're going to improve. I think this is an improvement. That would be really, really nice to improve. 50.0, yeah. Okay, so that's good. Another 4/10 off. I think that is probably all I've got for the moment. Might come back on a bit later on and do some more, but for the purposes of this live stream, I think that's probably what we got. But guys, thank you very, very much for riding on board with me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it gives you an idea of some of the stress on board on a virtual qualifying lap of the Nordschleife, but it's a lot more here in real life, where there's a lot more cars and danger and debris on the road. Okay, so we're P2 at the moment. Sauber and Sport are a bit out of reach. Even on my ideal lap, I'd have still been 3/10 off of those guys. And since this isn't the actual qualifying for the race, this is pre-qualifying to get us into the race. So the top 12 fastest teams will make it in. So we need to be in the top 12. Obviously we're P2 at the moment, but not many people have done it. Six cars have entered the session, so not sure what they're up to, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. 50 dead, I think that's quite a lot quicker than we went in the last pre-qualifying session, and the conditions are really, really bad. So this is like some of the slowest track state that I've driven on around here in quite a while. Normally I can get out into 46s with much less tidy laps than that. So going to get out of everyone's way here. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I'm going to end the stream now, so this isn't just hours and hours of nothing. But cool. Right, tomorrow, Nurburgring 24 hours. Join me for that. That's going to be really exciting.